In this demo, I'm going to show you how you can configure an integration services project using SQL Server Management Studio. To start off with this demo, let us get into SSMS. Now, what you see here is a SQL instance. And in this SQL instance, I already have integration services installed. And once integration services installed and you have created the SSIS catalog, you will see SSIS DB here. And under this SSIS catalog, I've already created two folders, production and staging. Now, in each of this folder, you have two logical organization, projects and environments. And as part of this demo, I've already pre-deployed an SSIS project into the staging folder. Now, the name of this project is called DWLoad. And this DWLoad consists of 4 packages, which we're going to run in the later part of the demo. In addition, you'll notice that there's an environment. And in integration services, you now have the ability to create a server environment, which consists of a set of variables. In order to create an environment, let me right-click, choose Create Environment. And I can say the name of this environment is called an execution environment. And once the environment is created, I can create variables for the environment. In this case, I can create a variable called edwdb, and the type is a string. And the value for this is edw. In addition, for each of the environment, I can also assign a set of permissions to determine who can access the environment. Once the environment and the environment variables has been created, let me click OK. Now, once you have already created an environment, you now have the ability to say, given a project, to associate this with an environment. And in order to do that, I choose Project Properties, I choose References, and I choose to add a reference. And in this case, you'll notice that the Browse Environment dialog pops up. And you can either choose that you want to refer to an environment that is in the same folder. Notice the exact environment, which is the one that we have just created. Or you can choose to say that you want an environment that is in another folder. Now, in this demo, I'm going to choose the exact environment that resides in the local folder, which is the staging folder, and click OK. Once done, let me click OK. What have I done? I have just associated an environment with the DWLoad project. Now, the next thing that I want to do is I want to be able to make use of this environment and one of its environment variables during execution. Again, I choose the project, I right-click on the project and I choose Properties. And instead of clicking the References page earlier, I will click Parameters. And in this Parameters page, you'll notice that there's several parameters in this project and the packages that it contains. And for the purpose of this demo, I'm going to configure such that the EDW database parameter will make use of an environment variable. In order to do that, I click the ellipsis here and I choose Use Environment Variable. And in this case, you'll see that the edwdb variable which I've created earlier, let me choose that and I click OK. One of the things that you'll notice is that after I've choose an environment variable, the value here has an underline. This means that this parameter edw database is now using a reference value, and this reference value is coming from a variable called edwdb. Once I'm done, I click OK. I have successfully configured the project DWLoad to refer to a variable called edwdb, which is in an environment, and this environment resides in the same folder as the project. Now, similarly, I can go to the production folder and create an environment called exec environment. And I can also create the same variable called edwdb. In this case, let me call it edw, and the type I will choose string. Once I'm done, I click OK. I've created in two different folders, two environments that's of exact same name and contains a variable called edwdb. Now suppose I were to run this dwloadmaster package, I can specify that when I run the package, I refer to a specific environment during execution. Now, let us recap what we have seen in this demo. In this demo, we have seen how we can configure a project that has already been deployed to a SQL instance which has integration services installed with values that comes from an environment variable. We have also seen how we can go about creating an environment and the environment variables that the environment contains. We have also seen, given a project and an environment, how we can associate the project with the environment so that we can make use of the variables that's in the environment. Thank you.